Hi and good morning. I am still in bed and it's like 9 p.m. a.m. It's time to get up. So, I don't know whether I want to wash my hair today. I mean, it's not actually that bad, right? I'm gonna have a shower and then try and tidy up my room and then we're gonna get started, okay? Let's go. Sorry, I've just had a shower and I was using this. Has any of you used this before? It's the new Lush facial cleansers. This one's the lavender one and I just wanted to talk about it because I am really enjoying this at the moment. It's really calming and gentle and has no packaging, so it's really good for the environment. And it just got me thinking, yesterday I heard the news that Lush was going off all social media platforms. And at first I was like really confused because I thought, well, it's a great way of advertising and getting to new people. And I read their post and they're talking about how they don't want to rely on algorithms, they don't want to keep fighting, they want to pay for social media and stuff like that. And I just think, you know what, you go Lush. You somehow made it without social media for the longest time. You made it without even advertising. Your form of advertising was literally word of mouth. Like people talking about it. And honestly, I think there's enough people on YouTube and Instagram talking about their Lush products. I don't think you really need to be on social media. And I think there's a good step forward. I don't think we should be so reliant on social media and we shouldn't let it control us. So I just wanted to mention that. Props to you, Lush. Love you, Lush. So I'm just going to make some breakfast. Normally in the mornings I don't eat as healthily as this. Normally I probably eat just like, as bad as it sounds, crunchy nut cornflakes and some fruit. But if I can, I will have some porridge with some fruit because Dr. Michael Greger said that's probably like one of the healthiest breakfasts you can have. So if you don't know who Dr. Michael Greger is, basically he's my idol. He is a doctor, obviously, on plant-based nutrition, and he wasn't always like plant-based. He became plant-based after he did a lot of research into what the healthiest diet was for a human being, and I find his work so fascinating. He has a book out called How Not to Die and I really recommend you all read it because it's just amazing. So he dedicates a lot of his time to educating people about health and diet, and he kind of sifts through all of the research, kind of picking out which are the ones that are bullshit and which are the ones that are good non-industry funded studies, and he's picked apart them, that it's a non-profit organization. He has a website, you can look at all this stuff. Honestly, I recommend it. And since I've learned about all this, I've been able to incorporate a healthier lifestyle. I do feel healthier generally. So this is why I'm going to be talking about him a lot in my videos. He's really good. He's so selfless and he's helped a lot of people. So that's good. Yeah, so in this video I'm going to be trying to eat how he recommends, and that's how I try to eat most of the time when I have time. It's kind of hard when I'm working because my job's kind of a bit full on at the moment, but that's fine. I can just make up for it on the weekends. So what I did there was I just got a huge pot. This is like the easiest thing like when it comes to food. I love food, like loads, and I want to eat healthily, but I also don't want to spend hours and hours just cooking and preparing. So with this dish, it's like a hot pot kind of idea, but I literally just chop up vegetables really, really roughly, carrots, celery, swede, and onions, and I put in whole tomatoes with pinto beans. And I just like maybe a teaspoonful of like vegetable oil. I know it's not the best, but I like the taste. I'm healthy enough. I can eat unhealthily if I want. Anyway, I put this in one giant pot with loads of water and I let it bubble away for hours. When I say for hours, put it on the lowest heat and then you put the lid on and let it bubble away for hours, maybe 6 hours, because then like the flavours from the celery and the swede and the carrots really come out and it tastes so good. Honestly, you just roughly chop up all the vegetables, chuck it in a pot with some water, and hey presto, it's done. So I always put that on in the morning and I don't have to worry about it for the rest of the day. I put it on as I'm making breakfast. Maybe this doesn't look the best, but it's delicious. It's just porridge, soy milk, oats, nuts, flax seeds, you know, the usual. So it's just kind of simple and easy to make, but I like it. This video today, I'm meant to be sewing, but honestly I'm really struggling with this at the moment. See, what's happened is I went onto YouTube and I copied like the first pattern that I saw. Somebody was doing a video in how to make your own pattern for your own top. So I followed that. And I think I've done it wrong, I don't know. Let me show you. So this is like the pattern so far. And I've sewed this back piece on. And this back piece is going to have like little loops down the side. So I can create some kind of tied thing at the back, so you know, if I gain or lose weight then it'll still fit. So I'm very aware that this fabric is non-stretch, but the thing is the way the design is it's quite funny. So this is the pattern that I've used, and on this side it's meant to compensate for obviously the bust, but it's on this side, so when it's on me where I've sewed it, the seam comes out like this on the side and it's very obvious. Look, it just kind of sticks out to the side like that. So I'm thinking I've done something wrong. I don't know. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish it. I'm going to see how it's meant to be then, but I have an inkling that maybe the seam is actually meant to be more here over the boob. That's my feeling, and if it is the case then I'm screwed because I've spent so long on this top. It's taken me so long just to sew this and hem it, but this is my first top. I need to bear that in mind, and I'm sure it's going to be fine, like cross keys anyway, I'm sure it'll be fine. So I went out today and I went and bought myself a plant. I got myself a fern, and I'll show you. She's a little fern and she's meant to kind of purify the air, and then I called her Fernie. Creative. Oh, and as you can see, I've also moved my bedroom around. I've moved my bed over there. It was along this wall here, but now I've moved it here so I can have more space here. Yeah, and then I've carried on doing my top. So far I've done this extra panel for the top, so as you can see it's on this side. Now I just need to sew on for this side, and as you can see there's like a gap in the middle, and this is where I'm going to do some kind of lacing effect to kind of tie it together, which I'm quite excited for because that's the last piece, and then I can see what it looks like around me and see how dreadful it's going to be. I'm sure it'll be fine anyway. So I've done that. I'm just about to eat some dinner. I'm going to take you guys with me to show you how this like hot pot has worked out. Look at that. It looks so good. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to eat this. So I have added more things into this. I did add a little bit of tomato puree. I need to eat this right now. I'll tell you in a sec. So I did end up adding more ingredients to this. Oh, I love this so much. So in this I added some tomato puree, a little bit of white wine, just a little bit, some soy sauce, I think some dried coriander. Basically, like, I just looked through the cupboards and put in what I thought would look good. But I think that's pretty much it. A little bit of salt. I think that's it. Anyway, I love this because it's just, the beans have made it really thick and it's added a lot of depth to the flavour. Oh, it's so nice as well. And then the tomatoes. The tomatoes that I put them in a hole. And because they were in there for so long, they just burst open. They're so nice. Then you get the sweetness from the parsnips, no, from the swede. And then the potatoes are great in anything you have, basically. I put the potatoes in towards the end, so they won't get too mushy. Basically, this is really, really good and I really, really recommend it. Maybe I'll put down below in the description, I'll just put in like the exact things that I did for this. So you can try and make it at home and hopefully you'll like it as much as I do, because it's like really warm and comforting. It's just one of my favourite things. So yeah, and obviously this is really lazy. You have to check on it once in a while because the water will evaporate, which is fine. You just add in more water. Oh, I love it so much. And I made lots because I knew I'm just going to eat loads of it. So I just like turn this video into like a mukbang. You know what? I don't know what this video is. We're just going to go with it. We don't know. We're just going to go with the flow. This is just really good. Quite a lot of people who make like hot pots or whatever they're called, they'll just use the kind of broth from it and they'll throw everything away. And that's just wasteful. Eat the stuff in it. It's delicious. You know what I mean? It's still really hot. Really good. And the pinto beans are the best beans in my opinion to put in it. They're kind of I don't know how to explain it, but they add a lot of depth to the flavour and richness and almost beefiness to it. It's really good though. You know what would be good in here though? I wish I had some like fresh herbs to put in. That'd be nice. Okay, I'm not going to all make you watch me eat and talk. I'll stop the camera in a sec. It's so good. Seriously, it's really, really good. You need to all try this like right now. This being the top, like the first thing I've ever sewn in my life, there's some things that I've been learning. I've been learning quite a lot actually recently. Number one, sewing is fucking hard. Like, have you ever tried sewing before? It's ridiculous. Like, if you ever known like your grandparents to do loads of sewing, or if you know anybody who can sew, seriously, they had to go through a lot to figure it out and work it out. It's like problem solving one thing after another. It's incredibly difficult and tedious and just really annoying. But I'm learning. This is my first top, so hopefully my next one will turn out a lot better. I've noticed that when I've been hemming this top, I've got a lot of rough edges. So it turns out you're supposed to sew that. You're supposed to sew the very edges to stop them from fraying. I didn't actually know that before, so now I know. And like, sewing a curve as well takes a lot of skill and probably a better sewing machine other than this one that I got from John Lewis, and it's like miniature and it's like really cheap, so probably needs a better sewing machine than just this tiny thing. But you know what, I'm proud of myself. I'm getting there slowly but surely. I don't know if you can tell, but this is kind of how it's looking so far. I've pinned it to this part of my top in here. I've got these two bits here, and it looks like it kind of does go around quite nicely from what I can see. And it's turning out okay actually. And as you can see, it's turning out like that. And I have the back open because I want to add like a lace effect, which I think will be quite nice. See, it's not that far from each other. Just kind of what I was planning. And the sides, what I thought it was going to be a bit weird and baggy here, but surprisingly it's turning out okay. It's fitting me quite nicely. You know what? Surprisingly, I'm quite happy about how this has gone so far, which is really surprising because I was not expecting that. So, you know what? I'm going to end the video here on a high note. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you want to see more. And the next stage will be adding the straps here and on the back as well. So if you want to see how that goes, please subscribe, and the step after that will be dyeing it. So that's the part I'm most excited about. Alright, ciao for now.